As a people, in terms of numbers, volumes, and diversity, the people of Luo Nyanza are the most intellectually adept Kenyans. They pursue intellectual capacity, learning, the chase of knowledge and philosophy, and technical jobs that require huge investment in education. That's a fact. Besides the people, Luo Nyanza has what you would call almost everlasting resources. The first everlasting resource is Lake Victoria. It is the origin of the Nile. It is a resource that has been there since forever. It is a resource that stands before time, beyond time, and above time. They have gold. It is a resource that is recession-proof, that is the weight of wealth and prosperity. And more so, because of the nature of the land, the topography, the soils are deep enough that they can be able to withstand a diversity of crops. The way they take crops, because of that depth, it's not sloppy, they are not thin, like we have in the mountain, the highlands, is that they are very good for doing mixed farming. They can do as many crops as possible. That is why not only do we have the tubers doing very well, from sweet potato to cassava, we also have the cereals doing very well, and the legumes, and even the nuts, the peanuts, the cashew nuts, perfect. Even horticulture does very well there. And actually, just so you can know it is that good, we have sugarcane. Sugar is the crop that drove slavery trade, because everybody likes something sweet. That is how good and how rich Luo Nyanza is. And before it becomes a thing, I'm using the word Luo Nyanza because I have tried to go county by county, but the intermixing of all the aspects and issues, and also the prevalent performance, because there is nothing that stands out between one county and the other, then it means I want to mix them because we are looking at counties. So in this case, I'm specifically looking at the counties of Luo Nyanza. But in comparison, maybe we'll also add Kisii, but this is not this session, maybe the next one. So with that much wealth in Luo Nyanza, not only the physical wealth, but the intellectual wealth, when it comes to performance, Luo Nyanza has consistently, without fail, without diversion or diverting, been a mid-D, at best a C- performing region. Countrywide, it's not, and that's the whole region. And the reason for this is not only something that is not like seen as a thing, but it becomes a thing when you realize the impact it has on the people. And by the people, I mean the residents. As a result of this gap in wealth and in performance, right? Here you are intellectually capable, physically strong, and with wealth beneath your feet, but you are poor, because that D, consistent D, means poverty. It means no jobs. It means there is no industry. It means there is nothing to do. Then people move without fail to Nairobi, to Naivasha, to Nakuru, to Mombasa, and mainly to Nairobi, to work in less than skilled jobs. Because now the youth, the people who are moving at that stage, where the land and the place has refused to provide for them, they are the people who are not well skilled. And skilling is also a part of the county. TVET, as you saw, the skilling of the laborers, of the workers of the factory floor, is the mandate of the county. So what happens to these rich soils? Why are they not producing? Where is this gold? Where is the fish from the lake? Where is the brain braining into reality? Let's start with the soil, because soil is where we get our food. The soils of Nyanza have two good characteristics. One, they are good soils. They are not too clay, they are not too sandy. They are just perfect. Number two, they are deep soils. Because the place is not slopey topographically, they are good. That means water absorbs well, and when you grow, you can grow many things. They'll grow deep. Tubers do very well. Peanuts, legumes, even cereals, when you intermix, it is the perfect place for ecological diversity because of the nature of the soils. But those soils have been mined and mined and mined. They have no more nutrients. They are barren. And as a result, yields go lower and lower and lower every successive season. Huku Kambani, we talk of years because seasons are a matter of luck. There is every other rainy season. The quality goes down of the soil, performance goes down, because when you plant, the plants absorb the nutrients, but the replenishment has been poor. And then there was an overreaction of applying too much fertilizer. And when that happens, the soil now becomes too acidic. And as a result now, that acidity makes even the absorptions of nutrients low, the microorganisms disappear, so the soils are poor. The whole is like you are diabetic, you're only taking insulin, but you're still eating poorly. Like you are sick. The soils are sick, they are acidic, the carbon, they lack carbon, they have too much acidity. They need to be fed, to be revitalized. And you can see that even from sugar. The sugar production has gone down. Talking of now agriculture, the agro-processing has failed. The factories fail. And if you're thinking it's because of production and in mismanagement, if you want to blame Kidero, you could. But also, the people who are the producers, where we get sugar, because we are all, if everybody eats sugar, every household, not everybody, but you can imagine such a gold of food that is basic, and yet there is underperformance. That's a Kenyan problem. It is not a Luo Nyanza problem. So first of all, tutoe here, but agro-processing is limiting, because if that's the factory, the agro-processing we can talk about, then it's a problem. Of course, now we go to the lake, overfished, undermanaged, mismanaged, and as a result, low fish, and then there is no value addition. There is no agro-processing of the fish. This should have been the Economic Excellence Center, the study, the research, the market, the business of fisheries in Africa, because of the biggest lake. And yet in Kenya, the joke is, and it's a very cruel joke, you Kenyans, that the fishing industry is in Central. I know that's a tribe by tribe thing, but neutral player here. So back to details. As a result of that, how can that have been neglected, surely? If you became the governor, that you are even a piece of your land touches the ocean, how can by today, from 2013, how can there be no fisheries? A fisheries agro-processing. And then you go to the gold mine. Cartels, death, overworking, poor condition, mercury. The soil around that place is actually very, very, very toxic because of what is being done there. The mining is being done as if we are in the era of darkness. And the fact that it is taking place there, it is very uncivil. That's the condition. So the youth who, like we've said, there is no education, tooling, there is no industry, they live. And that is why, despite having all these resources that were mined and mined, taken, there is no replenishment. And not only is there no replenishment of natural resources, even people are living. Poverty, de-performance, brains, de-performance, and that is because of governors. Now, if you want to blame somebody, don't blame other people who are not even your governors or president or nothing. Look at your governor and tell him you are a failure, you are a de-governor. Because until you face that fact that the governors have failed in executing their mandate, then it's a lie. It's a lie which we'll come to in the next session. Thank you.